The best food you can find is grown right here at home, and that's true of our state's football players too. And Georgia Farm Bureau is proud to support both. With an office in nearly every Georgia county, Georgia Farm Bureau is always the home team. And now for a look at one of Georgia's homegrown talents, here's Jeff Sintel.
All right, guys, let's talk about Walton High receiver Dominick Blaylock. He was a 5-star for the longest time. He saw his recruiting rating dip late to where he was just the nation's number 6 receiver. But let me tell you about this young man. What you need to remember about him and his remarkable high school recruiting story. He chose Georgia in the summer before his junior season at Walton, and then he was done. No more visits, no more flirting. Coaches, recruiters, don't call his phone. He was going to be a Georgia Bulldog. Why was that? Dominick Blaylock always knew he wanted to play for a coach just like Georgia's Kirby Smart, and he wanted to do it near his family in Marietta, Georgia. Now, Dominick got on the biggest stage of his high school career at the All-American Bowl in Texas and was a part of 3 touchdowns that showed what he can do. Now Blaylock, a freshman at Georgia, has an interesting dynamic to his year. Georgia, which was already supposed to lose 3 receivers off last year's team, is now without a 4th. It opens up a window for Dominick Blaylock, who was already supposed to be counted on this fall for an even greater contribution to the University of Georgia. How does he plan to handle all of that?
Hard, always work hard on and off the field, and just ball out and hopefully I get a starting position.
Here's a story that I filed away from Blaylock's recruitment. He had a Twitter account, didn't use it much, but at the top of it was once a stormtrooper header. That's an interesting graphic to use for a marquee 5-star receiver. Why did he choose the stormtrooper? Well, he likes Star Wars, but he also likes the role of that everyday soldier, that infantryman. Blaylock, despite his immense array of skills, just wants to be part of the team, just wants to do his job, just wants to be one of the guys in the picture making things go for his football team. Because of that, we find that he's probably one of the more under-the-radar commitments or signees in Georgia's 2019 class. How does he feel about that? Everybody's sleeping on the stormtrooper Dominick Blaylock. He had a fine answer for that.
No, not really. I try to stay as humble as I can, and if they sleep on me, they sleep on me. But I just go out and show them what I can do.
Everyone does the Google searches these days, and when Dominick Blaylock starts to make his mark, they'll quickly find his search results would mean 5-star receiver, committed to Georgia, Walton High School. A deeper dive in Google will reveal that he is the son of former Oklahoma All-American and NBA All-Star Mookie Blaylock. But that's really not the home story here with Blaylock. He's the son of John and Janelle Woods, and being close to that family was one of the biggest reasons why he chose Georgia. Got a simple prediction here with Dominick. After his career winds up in Athens, I think those Google searches might yield something else. Instead of all that other biographical information, I'm thinking it will reveal that Dominick Blaylock would wind up as one of the greatest wide receivers ever at the University of Georgia. He has that kind of talent. And that's what makes Dominick Blaylock one of Georgia's homegrown talents.
Everybody knows that peanuts are the state crop of Georgia. But did you know that Georgia farmers contribute nearly $75 billion to the state's economy each year? That's not peanuts. Those billions are why Georgia Farm Bureau cultivates farmers by promoting agriculture and offering access to benefits that save families money, like home and auto insurance. You can join online for just a few bucks a year. Peanuts.
Join the Georgia Farm Bureau. Grassroots support, homegrown savings.